The tomb of Hafez al-Assad, the father of ousted Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, has been destroyed in Latakia. The gunmen first climbed onto the grave and then demolished it. Recently, rebel forces tore down the statue of Hafez al-Assad in Jaramana, in the southern Damascus suburbs. Anti-government protesters toppled a statue of Syrian President Bashar Assad's father while taking over some of the largest cities across the country. In the capital Damascus, people cheered as they stood on a toppled statue of former President Hafez al-Assad, in a highly symbolic moment for a country ruled with an iron fist for 5 decades by his clan. The scenes came as Islamist-led rebels declared Bashar al-Assad had fled the country following a lightning offensive that wrested city after city from his control, culminating with their arrival in Damascus. It should be noted that opposition forces entered Damascus on December 8 and overthrew the Assad regime.
اللهم لك الحمد يا رب. هذا ثأر أعمامي أولاد أعمامي بيت عبد الباقي بهذا المجرم حافظ الأسد الذي قتلهم في الثمانينات. اللهم لك الحمد. هذا ثأرنا. الحمد لله الذي بلغنا ثأرنا. اللهم لك الحمد حتى ترضى يا رب. اللهم لك الحمد. قبر فرعون هذا العصر حافظ الأسد. اللهم اهلك بشار وجميع الطواغيت يا رب. دينك ايه؟ عاشت ايدك. الله اكبر. اقبال اشوف.
Thousands of Syrians headed Monday to Saydnaya military prison, just north of Damascus to search for their loved ones. Civil defense workers and teams from the White Helmet Civil Defense Group were seen digging holes inside the prison in search for hidden cells or underground chambers. People were seen wandering inside the infamous prison, known as the human slaughterhouse, a place that for long time horrified the Syrian people. We have detainees who were taken since 2011, 2012 and 2013, said Ghazwan Hussein, who came looking for relatives and friends. As insurgents swept across Syria in just 10 days to bring an end to the Assad family's 50-year rule, they broke into prisons and security facilities to free political prisoners and many of the tens of thousands of people who disappeared since the conflict began back in 2011. On Sunday, women detainees, some with their children, screamed as men broke the locks off their cell doors. Syria's prisons have been infamous for their harsh conditions. Torture is systematic, say human rights groups, whistleblowers, and former detainees. Secret executions have been reported at more than 24 facilities run by Syrian intelligence, as well as at other sites. Amnesty International and other groups say that dozens of people were secretly executed every week in Saydnaya, estimating that up to 13,000 Syrians were killed between 2011 and 2016.
من 2011 و2012 و2013 إنهم معتقلين.
في كل شيء. هذول كلهم عصابة. هذول كلهم عصابة وسوف يحاسبون. وكل الاسماء الموجوده عندنا حتى لو راح الى الصين بدنا نجيبه ما في.
خلي بالك في بارد واير.
وين خافوا السجناء يعني؟ هن طلعوا من السجن الضباط والعساكر، السجناء وين خافون يعني؟
Supporters and opponents of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu argued in the hallway of a court on Tuesday where the Prime Minister was set to take the stand in his long-running trial for alleged corruption. The trial will set off what's expected to be a weeks-long spectacle that will draw unwelcome attention to his legal woes as he faces an international arrest warrant for war crimes and the fighting in Gaza continues. One opponent of Netanyahu argued with a supporter, telling him that Netanyahu will be toppled just like Syrian rebels toppled Syria's former President Bashar Assad. Netanyahu is charged with fraud, breach of trust and accepting bribes in 3 separate cases. He is accused of accepting tens of thousands of dollars worth of cigars and champagne and exchanging favors with wealthy associates. Netanyahu denies wrongdoing, saying the charges are a witch hunt. He arrived at the packed courtroom ahead of his testimony, appearing at ease and shaking hands with members of his Likud party who were in attendance. Before taking the stand, Netanyahu's lawyer laid out the defense's case and attempted to poke holes in the indictment.
ראש ממשלה נופל, ראש כמו שג'ולני הפיל את אסד, ככה פה הוא ייפול. אתה תיפול. ככה הוא ייפול, הוא ירד למטה, הוא ירד עוד
15 שנה אתם אומרים הוא ייפול, והעם ממשיך לתמוך בו. אני חושב שמה שקורה כאן נגד נתניהו, בצורת ניהול ההליכים, זה צורה לא נכונה, ולא היו אמורים כרגע במצב שישראל נמצאת, לאפשר את הדבר הזה מה שקורה כאן. ביבי אמר אתמול בכל המסיבת עיתונאים, הוא אמר משפט אחד הכי חזק. הוא אמר, אם העם היה מאמין לכם, לתקשורת, אני לא הייתי עומד פה היום כראש ממשלה. וזה בעצם ממצא במשפט אחד.
התגובה שלי היא טירוף מוחלט. בלילה בו מדינת ישראל השמידה דה פקטו את חיל האוויר הסורי, את חיל הטילים הסורי, ועוד אמצעים נוספים שאיני יכול להרחיב עליהם, אחרי לילה לבן, בו ראש הממשלה היה כל הלילה בבור, הוא צריך לעסוק בשטויות האלה 3 פעמים בשבוע. אני רוצה רק שנבין, מילואימניק היום שבעסוקה מבצעית, העדות שלו נדחית. אבל אני לא מתלונן, עוד 2 מנדטים הבוקר, נמשיך לעבוד קשה למען עם ישראל.